video from the basis. They pretty much knew what maps were coming up anyway.
Yeah, we'll find out very soon now. We'll go to our first map, which will be Dust 2, as we throw it to our casters, Dinko and Hawker.
Thank you very much, Lethal. Yes, it is time to get semi-final number 1 underway. And both teams have something to prove, Alex. Both teams showing a little bit of trash talking, which is great to see. You got to love it. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not Fierce can just dismantle them, or will we see the individual skill of Wind and Rain come through?
Yeah, that's the real question, and I think that's why Dust 2 is the perfect map to start on here. If Wind and Rain want to win this series, they need to be able to be better than Fierce individually. Yeah. And Dust 2 is a map where if you are better individually, you should be able to get the win.
I really love the VT where the Wind and Rain are just like, yeah, we're going to smash them 2-0. And then when it comes to the interview, they ask him, are you going to win 2-0? He says no. So perhaps feeling a little bit of nerves today. Perhaps he's trying to act confident, but perhaps the team's feeling a little bit unsure of themselves. We'll see if that is the case, though. Dust 2 is probably the best map for them to start on. Of course, it's probably one of the most famous individualist maps. You know, we've seen already Wind and Rain perform very well on this in the regular season. And, well, we'll see if they can get it done here.
And it feels like the problem for Wind and Rain is that it's not like Fierce are a bad side individually either. We've been talking about how consistent Fry is. Eccles has been really great this season. I think he's been a sort of surprise standout, and we are ready to get into Dust 2. Emil Shine looking for the opening down mid, but Wind and Rain are going to take a slow start.
Eccles tapping through the smoke, trying to connect something onto one of the players moving up through short. Not finding anything just yet, so Wind and Rain can start to take that control as Emil Shine has been dropped to 86. So first damage is drawn. There's nothing really to write home about at the moment, though. It looks as though Wind and Rain want to go in for the fast play. The flashbang's ready to go for the top end towards the A-bomb side. Stanley under pressure, trying to hold on as they start to come on 3. We'll spot them coming up towards him. Cannot land the shot, though. It's Lauti with the first kill. First blood is with Wind and Rain.
Very passive A-hole from Fierce, but Emil Shine holding down mid, only gets the 1 kill for his troubles. The bomb is planted for short, though, and Wind and Rain have full control of this position.
This is looking solid for the T side. Astro goes back over towards long, tries to assist with his teammate Alex, who starts to come on through and goes for the headshot, but cannot land it. So still the advantage here with Wind and Rain, and they've got a good hold here off the bomb side. It's going to be so difficult for Fierce to get back in, but they're going to attempt it anyway. They start to run on through. Astro's got the kit, so that's the at least silver lining with Deos in the corner. He's going to peek into the open. Defuse coming through. It's still coming through. Eventually they'll line them up, and it's Deos with 2, Daddy with 1, and it's Wind and Rain who will find the pistol.
That's exactly what they would have wanted. The individuals show up for a couple of opening kills, a very passive A-hold from Fierce, which is often what you see on the pistol round, but they had the one man just isolated on the site without any support there. So Wind and Rain got the bomb down pretty easily. A little bit of damage done at the start of this round. We've got the force buy from Fierce, so they're not giving up without a fight. They want to take the fight to their opponents in this second round.
Well, Lauti has got the Krieg immediately, and he starts to move up towards short. He has the assistance of Deos, who will hold towards top mid, allowing for his teammates to get some control towards that short area. Ents, the player has some big performances in the playoff date. There's a pivotal part in their success in such a dominant fashion. With the MAC-10, he'll get a little bit of info towards middle. Throw a smoke towards CT and cross back in. Oh, Fierce, look at that push right through the smoke. So they're going to get info that no one's actually pushing off the back of this. It's going to be a play up towards short. It's Astro. Tries to look through middle, spots the bomb. Does damage, but not enough for the kill. So falls away.
Stanley Molotov out of position, and this A site is open for business. Emil Shine trading off the back of his teammate for a couple of kills. Ooh, gets double peaked. Really well done by Fierce there to take him down. That's an AK recovered, but Wind and Rain control the A site. So the main thing here that we were kind of alluding to is whether or not Wind and Rain will be able to take their massive performance from online onto LAN. And, I mean, it's been a pretty decent start from them. We'll see if they can continue that coming through. Daddy Z is going to try and hold up towards short. He'll look over the top. And eventually it's Fierce trying to get back into this bomb site. No kits, so that's the biggest problem at the moment, but they can still find damage. Lauti with a kill. Pickup comes in onto Stanley. And he'll be looking for the follow-up through the smoke. Defuse is coming through. Alex is just sticking this. He might actually win it. Stanley's covered it off, and the defuse is there. Lauti, the last player, goes in, but Stanley with the headshot. A quad kill coming in from Stanley, and it's Fierce that pull that one off.
Oh, and those are the kinds of rounds that Wind and Rain are sometimes susceptible to losing with that lack of structure. They just try and play off each other with their teammates, just basic team play, but they get caught out completely by Fierce, retaking from short. Without the kit, that should not have been possible, but the one smoke is all they needed to lock it down, and Alex is going to do some good damage early. Daddy gets burned alive.
I'm still never gonna get over that name. I just, it's not so hilarious when we say it every time.
I know.
It's absolutely brilliant. But here goes Wind and Rain. The Deagles towards the mid doors. It's going to be some damage done onto Lautu, who's been dropped to 54. And will fall away. Deos, oh! Gap in the door, and he will take the headshot. So back into a 4v4. AK in the hands of Emil Shine. He's got Kevlar.
It's definitely a scary prospect if you are over on the Fierce side of things. We're seeing quite a passive hold again from Fierce across the board. Astro being tasked with holding this A site, currently alone in this position, which could be a problem, and you can see he's repositioning because of that. He's going to help his teammate towards A long, and that's a nice shot from Alex to open things up.
Well, Astro towards long, trying to hold on as they start to cross over towards the A bomb site. He'll be forced away in the bomb plant coming through from Wind and Rain, and these are the kinds of rounds they can win as well. The individual skill is there, and it is available to them. Eccles pulls back with the MP9. Emil Shine not quite lining that one up. So Deos and Lauti having to hold on. It's only the pistols left now for the T side. Their chances do dwindle quite substantially, especially with the kit still alive on the CT side. A nice shot from Deos. That's going to make sure that they still have a chance into this one. Eccles, there's the flank from Alex. There's the headshot from Deos, though. Notice where the last player is. It has to be the quad kill. 4 kills on the Deagle. The time is ticking. He's running in towards him. Deos has the angle, but Alex over the top takes the kill. Not enough time, though. He has to fall away in Wind and Rain. It's 2-1. Back and forth we go. And if this really is to be a grudge match, it's certainly the start that they require.
Yeah, Deos does enough there on the site, finding 3 kills on the round, buying time at the end to make sure he had the round win guaranteed. It feels to me as though Fierce are just running their default CT setups here, but you almost need that AWP to hold that position that Astro's playing, because he can't really hold off that short aggression. It's been a big problem for Fierce in the early portion of this game. We'll see if Wind and Rain continue to try to exploit that A hold, because in almost all of these rounds, they've tried to lean towards that A site. In this one, though, they're taking a slow start to the round, except for Emil Shine.
Yeah, it's not exactly very slow for Emil Shine whatsoever, but he does get a quick death. Stanley able to pick him up with a FAMAS, and it will be the advantage there for Fierce. Will this just be the back and forth? Continuing into round number 4. Utility goes towards the cross, flashbang through as well. Wind and Rain start their troops through the mid position. Fright has the help of Eccles up towards the B doors. They peek together. CZ's at long range, not exactly the greatest weapon for it. In Daddy and Lauti, they will take the kills, leaving the advantage with Wind and Rain.
Yeah, this is almost certainly a round win for Wind and Rain at this point. They've got the long-range weaponry, they've got the B site. They've got a bit more information as well, as Lauti has spotted out the man in towards CT. You can already see that Fierce are mainly just setting up to save in this situation. Oh, Alex gets himself 1 kill for his troubles. And a nice shot from Deos. So Wind and Rain are finding a couple of kills at the end here, but it looks like it is finally going to be a solid round win for Wind and Rain, and this is a chance for them to build up a win streak.
Yeah, the good sign that I'm seeing early here from Wind and Rain is, yes, they haven't done any preparation, but Dust 2 is one of the maps you can afford to do that. But Astro has picked up an 8K. They'll try and carry that one over into the next one, but back to this that point. Wind and Rain, they're playing off of each other very well, and that's, if you're not going to do any preparation, at least if you're able to do that, then that's a win. That's a winning formula. So if they can do that on Dust 2, it's definitely one of the maps they can pick up.
I think we're seeing a couple of issues arise with Emil Shine's aggression in towards mid. He's been caught there a couple of times without support, so you're starting to see some of the issues to Wind and Rain's style, but generally when they push together, as you said, it has been working well for them. We might see that again into round number 5. A quick B rush against the Loba.
Mac-10 goes through. Emil Shine has got the first kill. Free able to pick up Ents, and well, Danny's there with the kill on the AK. Some damage done. Spray coming through. It's Emil Shine with the headshot. So, pretty nice one coming right through on the Astro. Deos holds towards
Suicide on top mid, with the op looking on the barrel. There's the kill on the Stanley, leaving Alex on his own with a saved AK. It might just have to live to see another day. Lightning fast take at the B bomb site there from Wind and Rain. They do, you know, we're going up against a weak economy. They're not going to have anything to hold us off. Why not just run in and get it done? And there we go. What a start it is from Wind and Rain.
Yeah, definitely a good start for them, but Fierce are about to have a better buy on the board. I think they'll be wanting to get that AWP out as well. I think the way they're holding in their default setup, they need to have that AWP over towards the A side of the map. Yeah. And we can see the AWP of Deos come close to connecting. He's currently top of the board for Wind and Rain. And again, they're taking this A long control without any difficulty.
They're just running right through it. They're showing their confidence early, and Astro is going to sit back on towards the A bomb site. And well, spots are playing, but won't take the shot just yet. It's not enough to bait shot, but there it is. Patience pays off. Astro picks up the kill onto Lauti and falls back in towards the A bomb site. Man advantage is there on the CT side, and Wind and Rain, they've got to try and source a reply.
Yeah, and I feel this was the issue for Fierce in these earlier rounds. Astro clearly wants to be AWPing in this sort of position, but he didn't have the sniper, so he couldn't fight as well at long range. Now he's got the AWP. It's much easier for him to hold around the A site. He's much more comfortable playing that position, although Wind and Rain are creeping their way up towards A.
Taking the time. Still with a deficit. That's definitely a problem for them. Though, that was a nice attempt at a trip, but Eccles will take the headshot. Certainly looking good here for Fierce as Wind and Rain start to make their way in towards the A bomb site. Damage has been done. In the corner lies one player, but the Molotov's going to force Stanley into the open, and Deos is waiting for that. Astro needs to kill here, and he's got it. That might have just been enough to secure a victory here, but Wind and Rain, they're hungry to pull it back. And Emil Shine, he's got 2 great kills from Emil Shine. And he pulls the chances right back for Wind and Rain.
I love that play from Emil Shine, just taking the fights, fight after fight, go the way of Wind and Rain. And it's those two players, Deos and Emil Shine, who show up for Wind and Rain. They've been the 2-star players throughout the online season for this squad. And the fact that Emil Shine pinpoints that he needs to make a play there, he needs to get something done, is a really great sign for Wind and Rain. He's not scared to make that play in that 2v4 disadvantage.
When people say Emil Shine, yes, he's a great online player, but can he do it on LAN? I think he's had that start to try and start to prove them wrong. 9 kills already, 9 and 4, big plays, big entry kills. Yes, his aggression's been caught a couple of times, but he's having a lot of impact. Great start coming in from Wind and Rain, and I'm assuming this will be a tactical pause coming in from Fierce.
Yeah, this is a good time to take it fairly early on, but you are starting to lose rounds. So it's getting to the point where you need to make sure that you don't let it get too out of hand. And Deos actually lands that shot on the cross to make matters even worse for Fierce.
That's just absolutely ridiculous. Lauti is going to be sitting back trying to take the kills towards long. Does damage, but has to fall away. Whilst Lauti is under a lot of pressure, it will be 1 kill coming in from Astro. He does get the SG, but the reply's there from Wind and Rain. They want to go fast in towards middle, and Alex is holding. He's got the Deagle, Smoke is in towards the cross, Molotov in behind it, but Alex is going to push right through, play with a gap, but Eccles, he's picked up the kill on the Daddy, he's got an AK. He's in towards the tunnels, and the kills are coming through from Fierce. But as soon as I say that, Emil Shine and Deos, they find 2 between them, and it's back into an equilibrium.
Oh, they might not know he's here. Emil Shine dropped the smoke behind him and he makes the play. Emil Shine with a quick triple. And again, it's those same 2 players. Emil Shine and Deos have to get all the kills between them, but they're showing up for their team.
They seem pretty hyped in the roster right now, so that's good that they've got a hot start. They'll be able to get that mentality up. When we get into this one. Certainly looking good, and another shot connecting from Deos. He's on a great level at the minute. And if him and Emil Shine can keep this level up, that's certainly a win condition for Wind and Rain.
Quick group up towards B, but Fry is here with the AWP, and that's an insane shot from Lauti. The AWP removed from the round. Eccles only good for 1 kill, and again, Wind and Rain trade their way onto the site.
An advantage for Wind and Rain. They're on the bomb side, but Stanley, he wants to get in behind, but he has to go quickly. Deos, oh, missed shot. That might just cost him, but he might still get the kill. Stanley's still unaware. Deos unable to capitalize, but Stanley in a very awkward position, still alive though. And at this point, Wind and Rain just hold on to the advantage. They don't want to throw it away. Emil shy though. He just wants to try and take a fight. Because of that, he will throw away that advantage that they held. So Wind and Rain still looking good for the chances to win this as Fierce have backed off and they're going to be saving their weapons. So 7-1. A lightning fast start from Wind and Rain. And thinking back to the playoff day we casted, Alex, fastest work that I've probably ever done. That's the sort of style Wind and Rain brought to the table, right? The fast starts and they capitalized and finished on it.
Yeah, and it was pointed out on the desk that back in the regular season, Wind and Rain only played Dust 2 the one time. They lost it against Vexed 16-9. But then once we got to playoffs, they played it against the Pensioners. They won 16-3. They looked like an entirely different team. And that's the team that seems to be showing up here at the start of Dust 2. It's another full buy for Fierce. Again, Astro's got the AWP to try and hold A, and this could be a quick fight.
Well, Lauti trying to find the opening kill. One player has crossed already, but the patience is there. Being able to go in and do damage onto 3 players. At this point, it's all about trying to hold on. Smoke down for long. Got a player in the pit, and that's Alex. At this point, Wind and Range start to feel very confident. They've actually stopped that lightning fast take, right? They're going for the opening picks, but if they don't find it, they can slow and take control elsewhere. And generally, the position you want to be taking here on Dust 2 is that short control.
This is where Astro wants to stop them, though. Flash forces Astro to fall back. Again, we're seeing Wind and Rain look for this opening towards mid. But this time, Fierce have decided not to fight for this area of the map too heavily. Deos is just dry peeking this. He's alone here, dry peeking mid, which is a real big risk. Luckily, there's no one there to stop him, and now he's got Daddy to back him up. This is the first really slow round we've seen from Wind and Rain.
Yeah.
Let's see what they've got in the late round.
That's trying to draw out the remaining utility on the Fierce side. There isn't a whole lot of it left. Only flashes and a couple of HE grenades, so it should be Wind and Rain's advantage in terms of utility. Flashbangs go over the top in towards the A bomb site they run as Astro tries to hold. He'll get the first kill and he'll stay alive. He goes back in for more with a flash over the top. Wind and Rain just trying to cross safely, but the head's showing and Astro cannot connect, but Stanley will. Double kill comes through, bomb hits the deck, and that might just be the end of the chances here for Wind and Rain in round number 9.
Oh, there it is. All surviving on the Fierce side of things. I almost feel like that's a round they needed just as a nice little confidence booster. That could really be what propels them back into this game. And we saw multiple players getting kills as well. So that's certainly a better sign. Deos again on the mid cross. We'll have to keep an eye on if he can land this shot. Fierce, I think, have slowed down the cross just to make sure he can't connect. But we could see some quick B aggression. Wind and Rain have grouped up.
Eccles might just get a couple of kills coming his way. There's one, make it 2. And he does trade back, but it's going to be the advantage here for Fierce Esports. Fry able to pick up the kill on the Deos. Smoke goes in towards the tunnels as well. And well, this is much better from Fierce. Looking a little bit more solid. The slower approach from Wind and Rain didn't really work, so they went straight back to their fast play, and that doesn't work either. So, well recovered from Fierce. They've adapted well in the last couple of rounds, and perhaps this is the pathway back into this first half.
And you definitely see the underdogs sometimes just come out really strong, really early, and then start to taper off. That's something that's quite common in Counter-Strike, where maybe the underdogs can get that good start, but then once your opponents warm up, it starts to become tricky. That entry onto B could be the difference maker, though. Fry's still here with the AWP, but he's having to watch towards 2 angles. He needs at least the 1 kill, and he misses the first shot. Fry makes up for it on the second, and Daddy is going to get the refrag, giving him a chance for the ace clutch.
It has to be the 1v2 is clutch at this point. 2 players remaining, trying to get back in towards the bomb site. He knows at least one of them is towards that CT position, but does he want to take the fight? That might just be the end of it, but he gets the 1v1. Asher will take the fight, though, and wins it with the AWP. So that will be the recovery from Fierce Esports. After such a strong start, though, into that round, they would have liked to have won it a little more convincingly, but they get the job done, and that's all that matters. 7-3.
And even though this has looked like a strong start for Wind and Rain, we obviously have to put it into context that firstly, this is Wind and Rain's map pick here on Dust 2, and then secondly, the final maps we have coming up, Inferno and Vertigo, have both been very comfortable maps for Fierce. They're maps that they've been willing to play quite often recently in ESEA, so I'm sure they will be not too worried with the circumstances so far, especially now that they are getting some more round wins. And this round, we've only got the hero AWP for Deos, but maybe he is going to be the hero they need. He's already found the first.
Astro, so close to losing his life there. He has to fall back in towards the bomb site. Molotov goes in, and that'll stop Wind and Rain from approaching him from the short position. They have to fall back. Rand's taking a more passive stance and try and recover. At this point, Fierce with the deficit. He's in the Wind and Rain ball court at the minute. Ball's in their court to play with.
Something we haven't seen much of from Fierce is any CT aggression. I wonder if this is a position where they could think about that.
In a pretty solid position at the minute. I think just holding on is probably the best call here, as Alex will take the headshot on towards Ents. Daddy does trib, but Astro has AWP and is looking in towards long. Kill comes in. It's the trib. If can he find the advantage for the CT side? Close angle. Emil Shine has the patience.
Ooh, Emil Shine catches Eccles off guard in from behind. At least one kill in reply from Fry, and Fry spots the second into the 1v1. Pulls out the pistol, goes for the nade over the top, and Lauti only has the dig. It's USP out for Fry, trying to land a jump shot, trying to hunt this down, and the damage is there, but not the frag. Fry looking for the AWP, misses the shot, and Lauti eventually closes it out.
Oh, that was hard to watch. Lauti eventually gets the round win there for Wind and Rain, who go up to 8, and that will be at least a one-run lead moving into the second half, and they'll be very happy with the performance. It's shaky at times, but they're getting the job done, and that's all that matters. I think Fierce will be pretty disappointed with the start they've got under their belt at the minute. Of course, this is the map pick of Wind and Rain. This is the one they have to look comfortable on. The rest of the maps definitely favored towards Fierce.
Yeah, Inferno as the second map feels very, very favored to Fierce for me. But then obviously Vertigo as the third, we've seen be close. And again, Astro caught in the exact same way. This time, Daddy punishes him.
Will be the T-side advantage to play with. They also look through the mid door. So will be the kill coming in onto Eccles. So looking very solid, but Fry, he'll step up. 2 kills coming in from Fry. The flashbang is there, so he has to hide away. Emil Shine will take him down, but there's Stanley walking right through the smoke. Wind and Rain are ready for this. So it's all on Alex, the Swede, to try and make the 1v3 happen. He's taking so much damage on board, dropped to 6 HP. And well, I think this one might just be over, as Alex has to fall back in towards the CT position. It'll be Wind and Rain, 9-3.
Oh man, another molly coming his way. He lands the dink, but only one shot required to finish the job. And after early A presence from Wind and Rain at the start of this game, they've started to throw in some quick aggression towards the B site. They've started to throw in some splits towards B. They've definitely been switching things up, and you can see just how relaxed and laid back Wind and Rain look now that they've been able to get these rounds on the board. They play quite loose. They play just based on their team play with each other, and you could see that there. They were looking very, very chilled out, whereas Fierce, it's much more serious.
Yeah, they look a little bit stressed out here on this side, I have to say. Not so much on the Wind and Rain side. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of stress going into a tournament like this for Wind and Rain when they literally say in their ET, we haven't even got any strategies prepared.
Who needs strategies?
At that point, it's like the most UKCS thing you could ever say, right? And it's quite hilarious.
Stanley should have heard those steps up towards short, but Stanley has taken a shot through the door. That must have been the AWP of Deos connecting on towards him. It is a low buy for Fierce, so it's likely to be... Oh, man. That's such a depressing round from Stanley. He didn't see anyone. He just got an AWP shot through the door and then a nade to the face.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
I think that'll be a common theme, though, for the rest of the Fierce players in this one. Be too difficult for Wind and Rain to reach double figures, as Emil Shine passively waiting for the kills. There they are. And Ince will get 2 as well. All but over. Clean round coming in from Wind and Rain, and it's 10-3. Hot start has continued, and well, we're reaching the final stages of the first half.
It doesn't feel like anyone's really been massively missing on the Fierce side either. Maybe we haven't seen many individual plays from them, but generally they've been connecting their shots Speaking of connecting their shots, Deos comes close, but it's Astro's AWP who is going to be good for the opening.
A little bit more proactive coming in from the CT side there. They do get the opening kill, and they hold on to it as well. No trade yet from Wind and Rain, and that does give the map to Fierce, really. I'd love to see a little bit of aggression, though. They have no control of the B side. They're just playing so passively. It feels like they're playing a little bit scared, to be honest. You'd love to see them try and get some more information and try and push the map a little bit, but perhaps it's towards short that they want to do that. 2 players up there, and that might just result in a kill here on the Emerald Shine.
Oh, that smoke can't be up for long, and Emil Shine was not ready for that. Alex playing a dangerous game. If he jumped one more time, Ents might have been able to spot him out. But Ents is looking to make a play now. Down in the 3v5, they need something, and he gets the opening and the follow-up. Wind and Rain straight back in the round.
Well, Danny was the ton. Oh no, Eccles will take him away. I said the advantage is back with Fierce. That's the sort of individual skill that Wind and Rain have, is when they're in a really tough situation and it looks impossible, they have the individuals that can pull it right back and really give it a contest. 30 seconds left on that clock to play with. We'll see if Fierce can hold on. They've got the better positions when the Rain's trying to charge in towards short. There's the headshot from Deos. He needed to find that, and he's done it successfully as the rest of the push starting to come on through. It has to be at least one here from Stanley. He cannot afford to fall quickly. That's the bomb planter. He does damage, but the bomb plant's coming in. He tries to deny it, and he does so. That should be enough, and the follow-up comes in from Eccles. It's going to be 10-4. Last round of the half coming up. Already a good one from Wind and Rain, but if Fierce can manage to salvage 5, they're still in this.
Yeah, good work from Stanley to walk his way up the ramp, making sure not to make noise, and then also to find that angle to deny the bomb plant. That made all the difference. We've got 2 AWPs on the T side at the start of the last round, just to try to land the shot on the cross. They are not successful in doing so. Fierce have got a couple of weaknesses in their buy for this last round. The MP9 in the hands of Fry. They've got a FAMAS in the mix as well. So even with that round win, there are some question marks as to their economy, and Alex is fully blinded. That is the worst timing. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Good flash though from Wind and Rain. Results in an early pickup. Again, no trade coming in. Fry nearly loses his life, dropped to 10 HP. That could have been the follow-up, and most definitely an 11th there for Wind and Rain, but we'll see what happens as Fierce keep 4 players alive. Wind and Rain start to stack their forces in towards middle with 4 players there, 1 off towards long. As Deos wants to try and force the issue. He's pushing through as the first man with an AWP. It's going to be Astro taking the kill on the Emerald Shine. So it's back into a 4v4. So that aggression really well timed there from Astro. And well, Lanty can find the follow-up, but it's Stanley with a pickup. And there it is. Fierce looking good here to try and pick up 5.
Clean man advantage. Fry is so low on health, and Deos connects the shot through the door. There's only 1 man left on the B hold. It's Eccles who's going to have to lock this one down, and he's not watching the tunnels. He's leaving B wide open.
Yeah, he's in such a bad position for this, but if they overextend a little bit, he might just find a pick off and give them the advantage moving into the retake with that Molotov. Oh, there it is. Eccles takes the headshot, and there it is, the man advantage for the CT side. So Fierce can just back off and play this one on retake. They've got the advantage. They haven't got the utility though, so that's the problem. They go in together. Ents picks up 2, so it's into a 1v1. Ents crosses back through the smoke. Eccles knows this, sprays through, but Ents will win it. 3 kills coming in his way. 11-4 at the half.
5 health left at the end there. It was so close, but Ents shows up for his team. And again, these rounds really come down to the wire, but it is going to be Wind and Rain taking the lead out of the first half. 11-4, quite one-sided. At this point, they don't need too much from their second half to really get this one over the line.
Pretty crazy that this start is come through. And wow, they're just going to run straight up middle, and this might actually work for them as the rest of the troops from Fierce are going in towards the long position. Ents tries to pinch her in behind as well. This is looking good for Wind and Rain.
A is open. That's the problem. Look at the minimap. They're running onto the A site, but Eccles gets a couple of kills. That is so well done.
Yeah, it looked good for Wind and Rain at the start, and then it all just fell apart immediately with how slow it ended up being. Eccles with 2 great kills. Emerald Shine will take him away, but the bomb has been planted, and Fierce they have got the advantage as Wind and Rain try to charge their way back in from short. They're already on the bomb side itself, but a kill from Fry. Lining up 3. That is absolutely disgusting from Fry.
Strictly business on the Fierce side from this point onwards. Now that they've got that pistol round win, they are going to feel like this game could definitely be there for the taking. We saw over on the desk the stats for Wind and Rain on this map. They struggled in that regular season game on their CT side. And I guess if at first you don't succeed, just try again. Rush up mid.
All right then, Fry just meets a sticky fit. Daddy will get one as well. And it'll be into a 4v3. Man advantage is there for Wind and Rain, but it shouldn't be the round win really at this point, as the bomb start has been taken towards the B side of things. Let's see if Wind and Rain can get any more damage into this. They have got 2 rifles picked up.
Yeah, without the kit, the round win feels unlikely, but either saving these guns or getting a couple of extra kills at the end here could both be very, very valuable options. Stanley falling back. I think Wind and Rain have realized these 2 rifles should be carried over, but whatever happens, this is a win in this round for Wind and Rain with literally no investment.
Stanley taking a lot of damage on board at this point, like you said. Saving anything from this or taking anything away from this, it is definitely a bonus for Wind and Rain. And well, Alex will take the headshot on towards Daddy, but the rest of the rifles are being carried over. Deos actually manages to grab another kill. Now let's look at events. 2 rifles are saved over and make it 1. Kill comes in from Stanley at the end. It's 11-6. So this is the chance from Fierce to start to build up. They look a little bit more happy in their camp at the minute. They look a little bit more full of energy. We'll see if they can continue that. As yes, the scoreline may have been one-sided at the first half, but if they can build it back into it, Fierce might be able to just dribble this one back through.
Louty's decided to buy up that AWP straight into round 18. That's something that Fierce might not be expecting in this first gun round, because Wind and Rain's money was maybe a little bit questionable heading into this one. You wouldn't be sure if they could get that sniper or not. You can see that Louty's had to invest basically everything into that AWP. Shine with that SG would like to take the long-range fight, but he doesn't spot anyone out. Quite a passive A-hold again from Wind and Rain this time, but Ents tries to take the fight and gets it wrong. Astro was ready for that push, and now Emil Shine is probably going to need some support on that A side of the map.
Molotov goes over the wall. There's forced away. Advantage with Fierce, and still with Fierce. Emil Shine has to try and step up. Ooh. I was going to say not a single kill, but he manages 1 quickly before death there. Fry does get the trade immediately though, and it still stands with a Fierce disadvantage. So bomb getting planted. Wind and Rain trying to come back into this. They have got the kit on Deos. At this point, probably just the save calls. That kill from Eccles might just be enough to shut the door.
Now Louty is just going to be running away with that AWP. Didn't even get to fire a single shot with the sniper, sadly, as he was over on the B side of the map. And Fierce starting to exploit that A site at the start of their T side. This is the first gun round, but they looked good taking that A site. Didn't really have too many difficulties. Emil Shine only got that 1 kill towards short, and as soon as the first kill or 2 came in, Wind and Rain's A-hold became really, really weak. 1 kill at the end for Deos. He is going to be able to upgrade to the SG. Wind and Rain carry over a couple of guns, but I doubt we'll see the full investment here. They're probably going to take the safe approach and just go for a half buy. Ooh, maybe not.
Oh.
Okay. I thought with the lead, they might be better off just taking the save here, but this buy is reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, they do know that Fierce economy isn't well built in the reserve. So if they manage to pick this one up, which is possible with the individuals that they do wield, perhaps that is enough to tip the scales. So there is a risk, but there is a massive reward as well on the table for Wind and Rain. As we get into round number 19, it's going to be some control taken of the tunnels from Fierce. No one really putting too much pressure towards long, pretty passive setup everywhere else. Just waiting for the aggression from Wind and Rain to come through, and it indeed is coming in towards the short position. Ents with a FAMAS starts to make his way up, starts to take a fight as well in towards the lower tunnels. Molotov goes through as well. At this point, Fierce just trying to use the utility, trying to make their way safely up towards this mid position to give themselves the best options moving forward.
Deos fully blinded, forced away with the AWP. There is a slight switch up on the CT setup in this round. Last time, Wind and Rain only had 2 players on the A side of the map. This time they've got 3 CTs holding that A bomb site.
This might just be a couple of engagements coming through on towards the short position. Ents just waiting with a FAMAS. He's going to peek into the open. He'll have to fall back in towards CT, and here comes the pressure. Fierce want to get in towards the A bomb sites. They start to run on in. No one from Wind and Rim really doing anything just yet. Emilshine has to step up, and there's the MP9. 2 kills. How does he do that? 2 kills collected on the MP9. Stanley and Alex will find 2 between them, and it's back into a 3v3. But Wind and Rain, they have got Deos in towards middle. He knows there's a player here. He wants to hold this off, but not peeking. He's on him. Oh, hits the shot, but it's not the kill. Goes back for more, but the peek comes through. Daddy able to pick it up, and Lauti will find one as well. It's all on Alex, trying to make the clutch happen. It has to be the 1v3. The first is there, the second comes in, but he runs out of ammo, and Deos will finish off the job. A good recovery from Wind and Rain, and again, it's down to the nail.
Ooh, the game sense from Deos showing up there, gets the wallbang, gets the round win for his team. Again, it comes really close, but it's another round that comes down to the clutch that ends up going the way of Wind and Rain. We've had a couple of those here. It looks like we have got ourselves a quick technical pause. I think, if anything, this probably should help the Fierce guys at this point, just to kind of, again, get their heads back into this one. They know that they can absolutely come back into this game. Even when Wind and Rain win that round, it comes really, really close. The problem is, like you talked about, the money from Fierce could be a bit dicey into this next one. And they don't have too much room to work with Wind and Rain already having 12 rounds.
Well, we're going to have to see once this technical pause is resolved, but it's been an excellent start from Wind and Rain. You know, a lot of questions being asked whether or not they'll be able to perform on LAN, and they certainly have, right? We see similar plays to that of what we see online. Amazing plays coming right in, and again, the 2 men we look at are on this team to step up for them is Emilshine and of course Deos, and both of them fragging well.
Yeah, normally when Wind and Rain succeed, they have sort of more players showing up on the team, is the way I'd describe it, because even in their losses, Emilshine was normally fragging. Deos was also normally doing a pretty decent job as well. But even in their victories, that's when you see some of the other players start to step up. We've seen a couple of rounds where Daddy's had rounds. We've seen a couple of rounds where Lauti has performed. I think Ents won that 1v2 towards the end of the first half where he showed up. So we are seeing the entire team make sure that they make plays, and that's what Wind and Rain rely upon. That's why they are actually finding success here, because we are seeing everyone contribute. And if you're going to run this style of Counter-Strike, that's kind of what you need to happen.
I think it might just be Saunders or something on the Fierce side. Hold them with their headsets off, so hopefully that gets resolved quickly. We can get right back into this. We don't want any of the momentum to die for the Wind and Rain side. They certainly have been starting to step up again after a little bit of a losing patch at the start of the second half. But Dust 2 certainly is a map that we always expected Wind and Rain to be able to compete on. When we look towards the other parts of the veto, that's when things start to get a bit more questionable, right?
Yeah, I think we might be restarting this round, apparently. I'm not exactly sure why, but we'll get updates on that whenever we can. As you were saying, though, Wind and Rain here coming out strong, looking good across the board. I think that overall, Fierce maybe were a little, I would say, reluctant to change on that first half, just in terms of playing so passive every round. Normally, you can throw in at least a couple of rounds where you maybe take control of B tunnels. You want to just throw that in there just to try and be able to show that you're willing to go aggressive, just to give your opponents something to think about. I feel as though maybe Fierce missed a slight trick with that. But they are starting to slowly work their way back into this game. And again, both teams just waiting patiently to get back into this one. We've seen how much this matchup means to both of them. I'm sure they will be focusing mentally right now.
Emilshine's headset is very far on his ears.
Yes. Maybe he just has low ears on his head, you don't know.
Maybe he does. Kind of had this discussion yesterday, Alex, about having the sound cancelling headphones on. They're pretty cool. It's kind of like just white noise.
Yeah, they look nice as well. Stylish.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay then.
I think they're a little bit too big. I mean, we have seen the new ones they're using at the big ESL events, the like Cologne and things like that. They have got the bows ones, and obviously they're pretty solid. They're very slimline looking. They do the job very well. So yeah, I think I prefer those ones.
Fair enough. Different strokes for different folks.
I also seen sort of when Sedica's brought up this as well, I think it's a good idea, is getting those custom-made in-ear headphones, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you get it molded to the inside of your ear. I thought this is a great idea, so I went to research my own.
Right.
And I'm not spending that much money on it, Alex.
Is it a lot?
It is a lot of money.
Right.
A lot of money.
Why don't you just make it like a do-it-yourself one? I'm sure you could.
Yeah, with Play-Doh or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Go back to school, go back to physics or chemistry. Probably chemistry, not physics. Shows how much I know about school. There's that trophy. Looking lovely in the center of the stage.
Yeah.
We also have a very nice stage setup here.
Oh, yeah.
It looks beautiful.
It's definitely a big stage to play on. And I think with a lot of these UK players, it's probably one of the biggest stages that they'll play on, which is obviously amazing to have that experience and really get to test your skills on a bigger stage against some of the better teams within the UK, or the best teams in the UK, right? So I think it's quite an incredible stage to be at.
Stanley there on your screen for the Fierce side. We were talking about how a bunch of these Fierce players have played on either European or even American teams, in Stanley's case, where he went over to Ghost Gaming. Got a lot of experience on this Fierce side, not only in the UK, but across the board, which you could argue gives them that slight advantage. Here was that start for Wind and Rain, hyping themselves up.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the Krieg so far for Wind and Rain. They've definitely been wanting to use that weapon and have been doing a great job of it so far. Something we didn't really see from Fierce on their CT side was any aggression. We didn't see it come through a lot. We've seen a couple of times towards certain areas, but it was much more of a sort of a passive setup coming through, much more structure. That was absolutely filthy from Fly.
Yeah, I was about to say, that was lovely. Just knocks them all down, one after the other. We saw that 1v3 from Ents as well, and he's the player for Wind and Rain who statistically has been at the bottom throughout the entirety of the regular season. So whenever you see him making a couple of plays as well, that always is a good sign for this squad.
And we've seen that in their playoff stage, right? We've seen some big plays from Ents, and he actually ended up getting the playoff best play of that evening. So obviously he started to elevate his individual level. And if you're statistically lowest ranking player, lowest performing player, steps up as well, that's just going to elevate the level of the team.
Oh yeah, that definitely pushes you over the edge.
Big fan of Deos's hair.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's like an afro, but it's a little bit more tame. I like it.
Yeah.
I reckon you should get your hair done like that.
I don't think I could.
We're ready to get into it. I think we are replaying this one. Wind and Rain obviously ended up with 12, but we're back to the scoreline of 11-7 as round number 19. It was so good, we're going to see it twice, and that is a treat for you at home. When we get into this one, it's in will shine with the early aggression, but will fall away towards long.
Deploys the flashbang going forwards. He did blind the player, and Emil Shine gets the opening, looking for more. The follow-up frag is there, and the damage just keeps on coming in. There's a team kill from Lauti. What the hell is going on here? Fierce have somehow pulled themselves back into this round in all the chaos.
Well, it might not just have all been on Fierce. You know, team kill going right through there in the chaos. And all the Eccles and Fry into a 2v3 here to try and make this happen for Fierce. Wind and Rain would love to get themselves this 12th on the board. Put themselves 4 away from victory here on Dust 2. 4 away from victory on their map pick. 55 seconds remaining on the clock. It will be Fierce starting to back away, in particular Eccles. It was over towards B. He wants to gather up with his teammate, Fry, who already is up towards long. So at this point, Eccles is trying to get some information.
It's not the most comfortable hold for Wind and Rain right now. Down to 3 players. They don't have any information towards A long. They can't be feeling too great right now. I mean, at least Deos has got B locked down, and that flashbang might give the game away. You can see Wind and Rain's reaction. They're starting to rotate towards A, and Deos has got the shot, but not the kill. He finds it on the follow-up, and now Fry is incredibly low on health.
Yeah, that should have been enough already, I think. Fry so low, but still has the chance to win a 1v3. And, well, Deos will take him away. P250 finishes off the job, and it will be 12 here for Wind and Rain. 12-7. Deos very quick on the AWP. And well, Wind and Rain, they are only 4 away from taking away Dust 2.
Yeah, starting to really get themselves to a position where they could close out this map. And the money for Fierce is going to be put into question here. They've got a decision to make into this round, and it is going to be the Force Spy called at the last second there. Astro gets himself the AWP. They've got a couple of rifles in play, but they've also got the MAC-10 and the CZ. So this is a bit of a mishmash of a buy for Fierce. At least they have some nades to work with, and it looks like when they really need the round win right now, they're leaning towards the B split. But look at this aggression from Louty. This is something we did not see from Fierce on their CT side, and that's a lot of information.
Man advantage for the CT side. No trade yet coming through for Fierce, and well, they've kind of limited themselves just in towards this B bomb side. Look at the CTs, they've got so much map control at this point. Fierce, they're really forced in towards this B site, and well, Deos, he's not an easy player to try and run into. He will not get the kill. Temple Shine and Daddy will find the frags, and Astro alone, he will be dropped. And Wind and Rain with the rotation, 13-7.
I mean, that's a round where Louty doesn't get a single kill, but all that information is a ridiculous amount of value for his team. The fact that Fierce are running into a 3 or 4-man B stack basically guarantees the round win for Wind and Rain as long as they land their shots. That's exactly what ends up happening. And with Fierce only having full Glocks in this round, I'm not fancying their chances.
Yeah, this realistically should be a 14-7 scoreline coming onto our screens. Daddy Z trying to hold on towards the bomb site and starts to throw away. Kill comes in onto Fry. Under a lot of pressure though as the Glocks come in. Deos misses the shot. They need to be careful here when in red. Trying to run back in. Louty completely blinded, and the kill comes in from Astro. They've got M-Force to work with now on the T side, and this is absolutely horrible. I'll have to let this happen. Wind and Rain, they want to try and get back into the bomb site to stop this from happening, but he's picked it up. Shine will recover. It's all on Astro. 1v3. First kill's there, but Deos will finish him off. It's going to be a 14-7 scoreline coming in from Wind and Rain.
Not exactly a comfortable round win for them, but at this point, they're not going to be too bothered. They only need a couple more to take this map win. At least Fierce gets something out of the round. They get a bit more damage done. They get the bomb plant to guarantee a full buy. Again, Astro is able to get the AWP. And again, we're seeing most of the Fierce players show up to a decent level, but we're not seeing anyone step up to be that star. And Deos misses the shot down to 1 health.
Oh no, he's under a lot of pressure at this point. Alex will take him away. Flashbang goes in, Molotov in towards CT. And at this point, Fierce are going to have to try and back away and try and recover from this. They've got the advantage. They just need to try and figure out what they want to do. And while playing slower, it's resulted in the kill for Eccles. And, well, it's in the bag surely here for Fierce.
Oh, there's the spray from Alex. Only Emil Shine left alive. And while he has got 26 kills to his name, he's going to need to find 5 more if he wants to win this round, which is absolutely not happening. He's going to look to save this SG. So, again, the aggression comes in from Wind and Rain. This time, Fierce were much better prepared for it, though. So, it feels like maybe Wind and Rain need to make sure that they slow that down. Maybe don't go for those pushes anymore, because it looks like Fierce have figured that out.
Yeah. Emil Shine has some incredible statistics right now. And it's just got even better. 27 kills, 122 ADR, and you might just get a few more kills coming this way. Yes, they don't really mean too much for the state of this round, but it's the next one that will start to shine through a little bit more. A couple of rebuys having to come in, keeping the economy modest on 2 players on Fierce, but they do get a round win here. The Fierce side. We'll see if Wind and Rain can bounce right back after that loss, or will Fierce start a little bit more of a comeback into this?
Well, if Fierce want to remain undefeated in terms of maps in this season, they're going to need to start to get these round wins now. Alex smokes off the Molotov to move forward, but it's Emil Shine on the other side to stop them. The flash is good. Emil Shine hunting them down, and it's a team kill from Stanley. Louty gives his team the man advantage. He's out in the open, but the trades are not coming in. Louty finally falls at the hands of Astro, and Eccles has pushed down mid.
Silver lining here is, yes, it's a 3v2, but ENCE only has a P250. Weapons are certainly better here on the CT side as they try and recover and go back over towards B. Eccles in a decent position, having pushed through middle. He's on towards the B ramp and will try and get Astro in towards the tunnels, but there's a player in the tunnels, and that is ENCE. Yes, he has a P250, but if he can get the timing and the angle played well, he can certainly pick up this frag.
At least Fierce have the time to work with here. Astro can continue to walk his way over towards B. Eccles isn't going to feel too comfortable with the position he's in, but he can just hold his angle while Astro tries to move forwards with the AWP, and this is all about the timing. Astro trying to find ENCE, who is going back and forth between the tunnels, and Eccles is going to start to clear that B site. Oh my god, they've got no clue.
Yeah, they have no ideas there. Astro's crossed away. There's a good chance here for Fierce to end up winning this round off the back of that as they start to run on in. Surely ENCE heard those footsteps. Astro starts to run in towards the B bomb site. ENCE knows the ghost is up and calls for the rotation of his teammates, and ENCE is going in from behind. Bomb plant's going through. Eccles is up towards the window. He spotted him cross here, but ENCE only has the P250, so needs to get close. Astro should hear the footsteps, but it's under pressure. He has to try and hold with the AWP as he goes around the corner. He wants the frag, and there it is. Eccles, he'll pick out one on the Deos, and that might just be job done. Daddy's Eat trying to come back in, but Astro has him as well. 14-9.
Yeah, good mid-round calls there from Fierce to figure out how to win that one. They really needed the timing to go their way, though. If ENCE showed up just a second or two earlier from the tunnels, he maybe could have denied the bomb plant. But the main thing is that now that Fierce have won that round, they force Wind and Rain down to a low buy, and this is their chance to really get this comeback going. Again, the aggression in towards mid being attempted. There's a counter flash there from Fierce this time around. As long as Fierce don't overextend individually towards mid, they should be okay at the start of this one. And we don't even have a massive amount of investment from Wind and Rain, so they really are just relying on Fierce running into this mid stack.
Well, no one was long. Stanley will spot a couple of players coming in towards him, and that'll force Wind and Rain to try and wrap her on the back on towards the A bomb site. Well, there is a couple of players from Fierce, just a few. Starting to make their way through. It's the passive wall from Eccles, but finally the strike comes in from behind. Deos gets one, but can't quite line up the other. It's ENCE will take that one, and Deos is on his own. 1v3 with the D-Eagle. And they've done a little bit of damage here, Wind and Rain, but any more is a bonus, and unfortunately, it will be nothing for Deos there. Double figures reach for Fierce, and perhaps this is the comeback road.
Starting to look better for Fierce at this point. Again, we're not seeing any massive individual performances from Fierce here. It's much more of a team effort for them. And oh yes, Eccles lands the shot on the cross. This is a full buy for Wind and Rain, but they've only got 4 guns to work with. Daddy's just going to have to be a spectator in this round as he gets wrecked.
We have to try and source the trade kill here on the Wind and Rain side. There has been no opportunity for that just yet. The bomb can just sit passively outside of the tunnels. And 2 players starting to encroach on the position towards the A site through long. They start to wrap up on towards the site. 1 player there towards short, trying to take the fight. It's Imulshine, but he will end up falling away as the kill comes in. Molotov gets 2 from Stanley. ENCE and Imulshine have been burnt to a crisp, and it's Lauti into a 1v4 clutch. It has to be the safe call from him, surely, at this point, and it will be 11 here for Fierce. They got off to a slow start, but they're starting to build right back into it. And at this point, Wind and Rain, if they want to get this win under their belt, Dust 2 is a must-win in the series. They have to make it happen. They can't afford to let this one slip.
Well, Lauti just spotted the bomb crossing towards mid. He's having a little sniff around that A site, seeing if there's any way in which he can maybe sneak his way into this one, but without the kit, you've got to assume this is not going to happen. The players are behind him. There's only 1 more man towards the bomb, but Lauti has no way of knowing that. He's just holding back, And the players are slowly moving in from behind, actually making noise. So Louty turns around and gets to face the man who's going to kill him. Astro closes it out.
It feels like Fierce is starting to warm up on an individual level even more, though, as well at this point, which is really solid to see. You know, we talk about the individuals on Wyndham Rain. That's really the only thing going for them, right? They have no structure to fall back on. It is just the individuals. But if Fierce can step up on an individual level and start to compete with Wyndham Rain, and also have that sort of tactical element to fall back on, then you have got something there that is a winning formula. And, well, a good kill from Stanley coming in. And we'll get it on towards Louty. Ents picks into the open, but it won't get the kill for Stanley. Again, man advantage there for Fierce. And while they try to capitalize off of this and turn this into another round win.
And we're seeing Astro at the top of the board for Fierce. He's been so solid for them throughout the season, just as a consistent fragger. He's been really, really reliable for Fierce. And then generally they have either Fry or Eccles stepping up to be that sort of superstar for them. It's maybe not been happening as much here, but the team effort seems to be pulling them back into this game.
Oh. Well, Deos, nice attempt, but Fry will take him away. It's Danny Z and Immelshine into a 2v4. They'll try and hold on to the ball side. Immelshine with the CZ. Long range fights having to come through, and low ammo count will not result in a kill. And there it's his 12 on the board for Fierce. Well, they're only 2 away from evening the scoreline, and only 4 away from taking the win here. Wyndham Rain, after such a great start, have started to fall off a little bit, but this is their chance to try and change that. Everything they could possibly want. The utility is there. They've got an AWP on the hands of Ents. If it is to be the win, they're going to do it pretty quickly here.
No bomb for Fierce, so I doubt they'll continue this aggression up short. They're mainly just taking away that area of the map. So some early aggression from Fierce to gain map control, but no early commitments for them. They've been fairly happy with the slow play. Another point worth bringing up is that Wyndham Rain have been willing to switch up that AWP slightly. This time it's into the hands of Ents over on the B side of the map. And after Wyndham Rain got caught out in some of those earlier rounds going a bit too aggressive, this time they are playing a little safer. Deos is pushed up towards A long, but it's really the B hold we have to look towards. Daddy is about to be tested.
Well, he hasn't peeked over the top just yet, but when he does get a kill. Eccles finished off, hits the deck. Molotov coming in. It's a traded utility, but it's free. Fry with a kill. It's a trade back in, and Emerald Shiny will take the kill on to Stanley, but Alex has got the headshot. It's a 3v3 as we go back and forth yet again. These two teams, it's a grudge match. They start to spam on through the smokes. No kills connected. No damage, in fact, either. The bomb plant starting to come through. Astro will confirm that. And so it is going to be a 3v3 retake attempt coming in from Wyndham Rain. They haven't got a kit, they haven't got utility, so it has to be the kills. As they start to come on in, Alex will hold. They have got Fry playing aggressive as well, taking that advanced stance, not playing past it. They'll peek together, and will shine with one, but all the kills come in quickly from Wyndham Rain, and it's map point here on Dust 2.
That was literally like a situation where you blink and you miss those kills. It was just instantaneous as they move in through the doors, through the window. Kills come through. I think Fry just got caught with awkward timing there because he was trying to hold the window, had to swing onto the door, and everything just works out for Wind and Rain. They are 1 round away from taking the first map off of Fierce in the Premiership. And this is not a good time for it. Ents actually just takes the fight straight down mid. Astro clearly not ready for that level of aggression. Wind and Rain, 1 man up, and Daddy Z has been able to push into lower tunnels.
Well, Daddy's going up behind, and well, Alex will take him away. Back into a 4v4. Lower tunnels control taken. Flashbang is there as well with the Molotov right over the top. Starting to spam on through. Well, this might just be it from Wynd and Rain if they can capitalize off of this. If they can source away to get that advantage back. As Fierce, they still have plenty of time to work with. They'll go back towards T-spawn, the bomb in their possession. And well, the timing could have been good there for Fry. You know, he was looking down in the right position, just he walks away and unfortunately he doesn't spot him.
So many nades left for Fierce here with a little under a minute left to work with. And Emil Shine is about to spot him. He didn't see him. Oh, he must be on 4x3 because he should have seen Alex emerge through the smoke. Thankfully, Deos is there for the trade, but the A-hold doesn't look great for Wind and Rain.
It's going to be 3 players coming in here from Fierce towards Long, and Deos, he'll pick up the kill on a Stanley. He'll look back for a little bit more as well, and there's the follow-up. Deos doing it all. It's all on Eccles, a 1v3 clutch to try and save their flawless record. This will be the first map that they have lost in the summer season of ESL Premiership. And well, they wanted to do it all. They wanted to try and win it cleanly, win the tournament without dropping a single map. And well, that might just be stopped here by Wind and Rain in their first map on the ESL Premiership here on Dust 2. Eccles, no time, it's all but over. It's a victory for Wind and Rain. They can do it on LAN, it seems, Alex. The individual's shown up.